Rebecca lived in northwest Alachua County, basically in the middle of nowhere surrounded by dirt roads. Not a very easy place to navigate, a place that you could get lost, or you could be hidden if something went wrong. When questioned over the phone, Rebecca had a lot to say. And after hearing her story, investigators wanted to bring her into the station for further questioning. And I have footage from Rebecca's interview where she's sitting in a flannel shirt and a beanie. Rebecca said, the plan was for Hannah to drive over to her house around 3 p.m. Shortly before that, Rebecca happened to just glance out her window and she saw Hannah arriving early, or so she thought. She saw a car that was parked on a dirt road. But what was weird was that all four doors of that car were open and there was no one in the front or back seats. It just looked empty. So from Rebecca's house and her vantage point, she couldn't see anyone in the area around the car, so she assumed it was just abandoned, but that didn't make sense because it wasn't there earlier. So here she was, walking over to this car to check it out, and as she got closer, Rebecca got the shock of her life. A man just popped up from the opposite side of the car that she couldn't see, and he shouted, "Stop, we're having sex." She told investigators that she was certain the guy came up from the ground, like he was on the ground behind the car, not in the back seat. He was a white male in maybe his 20s, maybe early 30s, average build, very dark hair, and a beard. That's a pretty vague description, and it actually matched the description of multiple people in Hannah's life, including Chad and Nelson. Yep, they both look similar. But it's not every day that you stumble across a couple getting intimate in broad daylight behind a car, and Rebecca felt awkward. She was embarrassed, and she was the non-confrontational type. So she just turned around, she walked back to her house, and she let them have their privacy. It wasn't any of her business. But a minute later, she received a text from Hannah that said, "Forget it." Apparently, they weren't meeting up anymore. Now, at this time, Rebecca had no idea what car Hannah drove since they hadn't seen each other in years, and people flake out all the time. So she figured Hannah just wasn't coming anymore, and she went about her day. She wasn't connecting the car she saw and the intimate encounter with the man to Hannah at all. And later, Rebecca checked outside to see if the people in the silver car were still there, but the car was now gone. Rebecca didn't think anything of it until she was sitting there being questioned at the Gainesville Sheriff Station. Now, when shown a picture of Hannah's 2003 Toyota Camry, Rebecca confirmed that car looked very similar to the one that was parked outside of her house. And as they started having her describe this guy in more detail, now they're doing a composite sketch. The reality of the situation kind of dawned on her. She had witnessed an event that possibly led to her friend Hannah's disappearance.